Hello and welcome guys. My name's Steve Beckles Abusier, the speaker with the orange tie. And guys, welcome to the Orange Room. How you doing? Those that don't know anything about me, I'm a motivational speaker. I go to schools, colleges, universities and companies around the UK, Europe and in the States. What I talk about is belief systems, and why I think that's important is that your beliefs determine what you gain in life. And I've just kind of learned that talking about beliefs and helping people to change their beliefs changes everything else. So that's my passion. I love doing it. I also teach soft skills training as well. So what is this all about? Now, I've been doing this for such a long time. I started in March, believe it or not, delivering once a week. And those that don't know anything about my stuff, you can get and find out more about me on YouTube, orangeonlinelearning.com, and you can see the rest of these videos. So guys, I've been delivering a series of these about the brain, about goal setting, about time management. By the way, thank you very much for some of the comments I received about fear last week. I really appreciate your comments and thank you, the individuals involved, and I'm glad it's helped. So what's this all about? Now, as you know, whenever I do my talks, those that have watched, I always have a prop, and my strap line, as if you saw my strap line, but it's as follows. Turning your life on can be a challenge, but it's up to you to flick the switch. Why am I being so dramatic? I don't know, but I just love doing it. Anyway, guys, here is the prop. Look at this, it's really cool. This is a switch, look. And when I turn it on, oh my goodness me, nice and bright. And I just think this is like the perfect metaphor for where I think a lot of us are at the moment. I think a lot of us are maybe stuck in the off position. Yes, this lockdown has caused a lot of stress, and I think it's stressing a lot of people when they're hearing that other parts of Europe are being locked down again. That's a massive challenge. And what I suppose want to do for you is to get you unstuck. Is to get you to get back into that rhythm of thinking, because I think a lot of us are stuck here. Let's talk a little bit about life. Life is what it is. It's full of peaks and troughs. I think you'll agree on that. And we'll go through stages where we go through really good points and really bad points. And a lot of people say to me as a motivational speaker, they say, Steve, you're always positive. And I say to them, no, I'm not. And there are times I feel down as well. But I realise I've got things in place to help and pull me up. And hopefully I'm going to share that with you. But I think adversity actually comes from when we're being challenged. That's in which you find out about ourselves. Does that make sense? So when everything's positive, everything's fine. Okay? It's fine to be positive when everything's working okay, you've got your job, you're doing whatever, that's fine. But it's when things are difficult, that's when you find out about the type of person you are. So I'm going to try to, as I said, move that switch from the off position to the on position, giving you 6 tips and techniques, and hopefully working through them will make a difference for yourself. And what's really important, which you bear in mind, is that we're doing loads of things at the moment, but if it's not working, it's got to change. I read somewhere the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a change. There won't be. You've got to change. Okay, so hopefully the tips I give you will help. Okay, so let's get going. As I said earlier, I've taken the word switch, S-W-I-T-C-H, and I'm going to start with S. And S is about surrounding yourself with people that want to make a positive change. Now, you've heard me talk about surrounding yourself with the right people. I know you've heard about this, but this is really important because what I want you to do is find trusted critics. Let me say that again. I want you to find trusted critics. Listen, if I said take the word critics out and I said to you find critics, you'll find a lot of those. Am I right? There's always people out there that want to criticize. But what you need to do is find trusted critics. Who are the people that you trust? Because their criticism will be there to help you. There are going to be people that will criticize you just to pull you down and leave you in this stuck position, this off position. So what do I suggest? Find those people. It's not easy, I do know that. Finding a coach, yeah? Get a coach maybe once a month or whatever to maybe just to pick you up a little bit and tell you the realities. Yeah, it's not just about picking you up, it's telling you what you need to do. Because if you hear the same thing from the same person all the time, you're like, yeah, whatever. But if you're hearing it from someone you perhaps don't know, and they're saying things perhaps that your friends are saying, maybe there's something in it and something you could do something about it. So get on the case, find a trusted critic or find a coach. And it's not a long commitment. And I'm not just kind of plugging myself, but I've started coaching where I'm only just speaking to people once a month. That's it. They tell me what's going on and I try to give them some support doing that. And it's not just about me, there's loads of coaches out there, but try it. Because if you are in this stuck position and you don't do anything about it, you're going to have problems because your environment will determine how well you do. All right, let's move to the W. And W is important. Wishing a bad day will never occur, won't happen. All right. What I'm saying is that you have to prepare yourself for bad days. And a lot of us don't. And I'm a motivational speaker, and that's what I try to do. On my door behind me, behind there, you can't see it, but I've got a list of all the things that I've achieved and have made me feel good. That's my recovery list. So when I'm going through a bad spell, for example, I don't get the work I want in, or I don't get the speaking gig or whatever, I literally look at that list and I think, Steve, you've done this, you've got this program, you've done this, you're doing it. Because if you don't do that, what happens is then you start to drift. And then lo and behold, you come across maybe those people that are maybe in the same place you are, and you drift together, which is no good. I think it's so important that you discipline your disappointments. There we go. Yeah, write that down. Discipline your disappointments because they will happen. And if you can say, oh, here we go, something going wrong here. If you can discipline yourself and say, I'm ready for this, you can then do something about it. It's like driving a car and you see a hole, a pothole in the road. What do? You just swerve around it. Why? Because you're prepared, you're ready for it. You slow down, you go around the hole. You don't just go over the hole and destroy your tyres, do you? So why do that about yourselves? Think about it. Set that up for yourself, just in case, because those days will happen. It's not being negative. You will have days where things won't work for you. Have a little plan to what you're going to do. Very important. Next one is to invest in yourself. Now, I spoke a lot about investing in yourself and reading loads of books and stuff like that. However, I'm talking about nutritional investment. I think the investment up here is important. But if this is not working correctly, this is going to be in problems, yeah? Because I read somewhere, your body is what your physique or your body takes you through life. Does that make sense? So if you don't look after this, it ain't taking you nowhere. And you can have all the knowledge up here, but if you're eating the wrong food, you're going to be in big trouble. Now, this guy doesn't know I'm going to plug him, Ken Barnes. Now, I only saw this on Facebook this morning, but his website is leanlifestyletribe.com. It's just a picture of him with the weight he's lost. I think he's lost something like 20 pounds or something over like a 6-month period. Blew my brain. So I'm going to big him up anyway, because I think it's an amazing achievement. And by all means, check him out. It's leanlifestyletribe.com. But what I'm saying is watch what you're eating. Because what you eat will affect the way you behave. Look after your body. Invest in your body. What kind of stuff are you eating? Because I guarantee if you're eating chocolate late at night, you're going to get up in the morning going, ugh. Why? Because of all of that, that chocolate and stuff and the carbohydrates, and it doesn't have an effect. I'm not a nutritionist, but I can tell you as a fact from experience, if you're eating the wrong food, it's going to leave you in that stuck position again. Very important. Next thing is to take time to evaluate. This is where all these yoga people kicked in. I talk a lot about Andrea and what she does, but it's about kind of having that space for you where you can have that silence and find out what's going on inside you. This is really important because when you do that, what then happens is that you hear those voices. Those voices are positive voices saying, yeah, you know, you're good, you're feeling well. All of this stuff I've learned just by trying yoga. Yeah, and I'm talking about yoga in particular, but it could be anything. Finding that space. Ask yourself, how did I get to this stuck position? All right? How did I get there? Because once you can ask yourself that question in tranquility, in peace, you've got a better chance in solving it. If you're rushing around and all these things, you're not taking time out to review why you're stuck. You'll always be stuck. So take some time out to do it. And it's important because if you don't reset yourself, you're going to have a problem. Let me ask you a question. When you go to the petrol station, okay, you pull up, all right, and what you do is you take the lid off your car, yeah, and then what you do, you grab the nozzle, okay, and then you put the petrol into the car. Now, you're probably wondering where I'm going with this, but in order for the petrol to be released, what has to happen? The guy in the court has to reset the pump. I just want you to think about that. Resetting the pump. This is so important because when you reset the pump, then you can start from scratch. A lot of us are trying to fill when you haven't been resetted. You're going to have real problems. Reset your pump. If you don't do it, what will happen? You're going to confuse things. Another idea is a thought I had is a bow and arrow. Yeah, you've got a bow and an arrow. If you want the arrow to go anywhere, what must you do? Well, you know the obvious. You've got to pull it back. So what happens when you pull back, metaphorically speaking, what I'm saying to you is at times you've got to get within yourself in order to go forward. Do you see what I mean? And it's that same metaphor for yourself. Think about it. With tea, taking time out, I want you to just pull back. Pull back. And then when you're ready, then let go. A lot of us are trying to fire and you've got no leverage. So important, that's T. C is very important, it's about celebrating. Celebrating what? Gratitude. Celebrating yourself. Now, it's really challenging times, I really understand that. And, you know, a couple of things that happened with me that have gone off. I was meant to be travelling to Belgium. That now I don't think is going to happen. And, you know, that's going to knock me kind of obviously from my job and work. So all these things are happening all the time. But I constantly celebrate what I have. And when you can do that, it grounds you. Gratitude gives that ability to get where your starting position is and then you're ready to spring. Do you see what I mean? So gratitude is really important. And also forgiveness. Who do you need to forgive in your life? Because I wouldn't be surprised those people you haven't forgiven are holding you back. Does that make sense? A lot of this is mental. Yeah? Because you hadn't forgiven them, you're still, oh, that person gets on my nerves, get my nerves. What you need to do, and I know this is easy for me to say because I don't know your scenario, but forgiving them will let you go. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to do it. Why should I let them go? Listen, it's not about them. It's about you. That can get you stuck because you hadn't forgiven. Now, like I said, I know it's easy for me to say because I don't know your situations and these individuals might have done horrendous things to you, but they're holding you back. I know a friend of mine, I won't mention his name, but whenever we speak, he talks about a relationship 3 or 4 years ago. And I think it's affecting why he's having perhaps problems here now. You've got to let that go. So important, yeah? And the last one is H. And H is to hope that things will change. Now, I use the word hope because it just helps with the H. But I believe it's more than hope. It's a belief that things will change. Remember, things go into a cycle. Yeah, we got ups and we got downs. We got ups and we got downs. And what you need to do is recognise we will all get an up. Now, as a whole, as a country, it's a challenging situation, but you get little ups, don't you? They need to be recognised. What I need to say to you now is that hope will give you focus and give you direction. With no hope, that's when you're going to start drifting. And it's really important to bear this in mind because it's all down to you. Ultimately, you're the one that has to make all of these decisions. And if you make the right decision, that's when things change. So guys, that was Switch. Let's do a quick summary just so you've got an idea of what I've just spoken about. So first of all, surround yourself. That environment's going to make a massive difference. I talk a lot about it, but the environment will make a massive difference. Find a trusted critic. Who can you trust that can criticize you and you know they mean the best for you? That last bit's really important because you're going to find loads of people that can criticize, but can find the best for you. Find a coach. Find someone that perhaps can just maybe on once in a while just give you a little bit of guidance. You know, maybe you don't want a long-term expensive thing, bit of guidance, okay? Next one is W. Wishing that you'll never have a bad day won't happen because you will. And that's not being negative, that's being realistic. You will. Things will change. Things will change without your control. Like what's going on in the UK at the moment. It's a crazy situation. You can't control that. But you've got to understand you can control you. So make that list, go through that list of the things you can do if you have a bad day. Listen to that music that really picks you up. I love salsa. It really just invigorates me. I love doing the Sunday show. Love it, because those things can pick me up when things are going down. How many times you felt really down and then maybe someone says something or you hear a track and you feel better? Why not engineer that? Yeah. Invest in yourself. And now I spoke about Ken Barnes doing his stuff, but I am talking about health. Just for a day then. Here we go. If it's like too much and you eat bad food anyway, just for one day, maybe have a day without eating any chocolate where normally you do. Or maybe have a day eating veg and chicken instead of eating the chicken and chips. It's investing in yourself, because when you get to a certain age, your body will be replying to you. At a certain age, you can get away with it. But you get to a certain age, your body will reply to you and say, you remember back in the day, you ate all that, I'm going to get you back. And I don't want to joke about it, but there's a lot of people having real serious health issues at the moment. So it's very, very, very important to bear that in mind, yeah? Next one is T, take time out, yeah? Take time out is very important, because if you don't, loads and loads and loads and loads of things can occur to you. And I got a quick message from Emma. You're right, Emma, you're right. Nutrition is very important. Can't stress that enough. Yeah, nutrition. I want to go back to that. Thanks for your comment, Emma. Also, what I want to say with the investing in yourself, if you want a list of kind of motivational people to listen to, just private message me and I'll give you the names, the links, the Les Browns, Jim Rowans, Nido Cobains. I've got a whole plethora of them. I'll give you the link. Get them on YouTube. Just PM me and I can just give you that stuff. No problem at all. Let's move on. Take the time out. Please take the time out. Your time. Let the kids know. Guys, this afternoon, I'm gone. I'm not here, yeah? Even if it's just going into your room, your bedroom or wherever, you have to do this. It's very important. And ask yourself those questions. C, celebrate what you've got. If you don't celebrate what you've got, who's going to do it for you? You've got to do it for yourself, okay? And when people find that you have this inner belief in yourself, people are attracted to you, all right? And that's where things will start to change. And H, hope. As I said, I like to push the word hope aside and just put belief in its place, because I do believe things are going to change. They are very challenging, and I love doing this because, I've had a lot of feedback of people who said to me, Steve, thank you for this, because this has really helped me. And I thank you very much for saying those comments, but it's about doing something about it. So guys, that was Switch. Now guys, what I'm going to say, like I always say, it's not just about getting through all of this, it's about getting from this. You have to go away with something after listening to me. That's how I am with my talks. I'm so blessed that I'm starting to now get out a little bit in the field, and my September's starting to get booked up, which is good. However, I think the things that are happening now has made me really feel very apprehensive with what's going on. So I just take each day as it comes. And that's not being negative, that's really being realistic. And I'm being as positive for every day that I've got, because we just don't know how changes will occur. Right, guys, it's that Sunday again. DJ Orange is on the decks. He's got his hat on. Guys, listen up. I'll send a link out. I'm playing the very best of the 80s and the 90s, the Shaka Khans and whatever. And I'm in my element, loving it. So by all means, tune in, because I feel it will hopefully make a positive difference on your Sunday. I just want to wind up, guys, by saying thank you so much for spending the time to listen to me. Have a great weekend. And guys, it's all about the switch, guys. It's all about yourselves making the difference. Thank you again. Take care. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.